prison is not a place for children. So we need to change that. Those laws, 14, 15, 16, 17, under 21, you shouldn't be in prison. Not in an adult prison. They don't have resources for adults. So how they going to have resources? So you telling me that you're going to have a prison system that is equipped to deal with a child, an adult, and a mentally ill person? You know, America's not going for that anymore. We see what's going on. So that has to be changed. Just talking about some more things inside the bill. Voting rights, the open access to media, Part 7, Section 1, being enacted as law to allow unlimited access to news media into any and all prisons at least 3 times per month upon a regularly posted schedule in each institution. These are publicly funded prisons, taxpayer money. But you're telling the public the media is not allowed in. Why? Because you're hiding stuff. You're hiding things. If you're not hiding nothing, then let the media come in and quit trying to tell them where to go. Let them go where. Let them go. If they want to, media can go in a war zone. They understand the risk involved. So if they can go in a war zone where people got guns and roadside bombs and suicide bombs, why they can't go into prison and assume their own risk? You know. Voting rights. If a person gets caught stealing or selling drugs or whatever, what does that have to do with voting rights? Voting is a civil right. That's a criminal act. How can a criminal act affect your civil rights? If your civil rights are violated in the course of you being prosecuted, your conviction can be overturned. So how can your civil rights be allowed to be violated based on a conviction? It is because in the Constitution of Alabama, the 1901 Constitution, in the committee minutes, the minutes of the convention, it says that the intent of the Constitution, John B. Knox, is to disenfranchise black people and all poor whites, to deprive us of the right to vote. That's why you have these laws around the country disenfranchising people for convictions of crimes, criminal offenses. You know. See what else we got in here. We're going to talk about the main part of the bill, which is the Education, Rehabilitation, Reentry Preparedness Bill, and this is something that we would like to see implemented nationwide because it creates a system for release. You know. You have level 6, level 5, level 4, level 3, level 2, level 1 facilities. And the level 6 facilities will be the opt-out facility. If a person's in prison, they don't have education, they don't want to get a skill or trade, they don't want to get life skills, they don't want to improve themselves, then they've opted out of the Education, Rehabilitation, and Reentry Preparedness Bill, and they'll continue to be under the guidelines and rules that are currently in existence. That's a choice that they made. But if they choose to be a part of it, then they'll be enrolled in a student orientation prison, the level 5 prison. That'll be the first prison that they go to. At that prison, they'll go through orientation. They'll get their social and psychological evaluations. And then they'll, within 80 days upon leaving, before they 90 to 180 days, they'll get their parole base. You know, based on the crime, based on what your needs are sociologically, based on what your needs are psychologically, based on the crime, based on your background, this will be your parole date. So if you got a arbitrary sentence, like, you know, I know a guy, he got 35 years for 320 rocks of cocaine. Okay, he doesn't need to serve 85% of his time. You know, if he doesn't have a GED, he doesn't have a skill of trade or whatnot, okay, well then we'll start him at a base parole of say 7 years, 6 or 5 years or whatever. All right. Once he get that base parole set up, then he'll be sent to a level 4 prison. At the level 4 prison, he'll get his GED. After he completes his GED, he'll get enrolled in trade school. And then he'll start his social psychological programs. If he's involved in drugs, then he'll be put in a drug class that explains to him that the problems associated with selling drugs. Okay? After he completes that, if he went to a prison, right now today I'm at a prison, they got two programs up here. They got the drug program under the crime bill, and they got the faith-based underdog. Okay, when you complete the two programs that this prison has to offer, you can't get away from here. You're stuck. So what we're saying in the Freedom Bill is if you have a need for a GED, a trade, and a social psychological need, then when you complete that at that prison, you go to the next level prison, which will be level 3. Once you get to level 3 prison, you'll get your introduction to life skills, peer leadership development, mentoring, and community development. Okay? Now you're finna learn how to balance a checkbook. Now you're finna learn how to grocery shop. Now you're finna learn how to fill out an application for insurance. You're fixing to get your life skills. If you were in a gang, you're finna get leadership development. You'll have mentoring and community development, which means if you was that kid that used to play basketball real good before you got in trouble, you'll go back to your community and you'll start volunteering you'll start working, well, you won't start going to the community. You'll start reaching out to churches, to schools that need after school programs, that need tutors, and you'll make your contacts. And once you complete the curriculum, you'll go to a level 2 facility, and you'll start working in the community. You'll be at that community center. You'll be at that little basketball summer camp, teaching kids to play basketball. You'll be at that football camp working with the kids. The elderly that need their grass cut, you'll be cutting that grass. You'll be taking them to the store. These will be funded by these reentry programs that are already in existence, expanded upon. And this is how we want to see the corrections work. All right. Once you get to a level 2 facility, then your reentry goes into the next phase. Practical computer skills, learning the job market for that trade you got when you first came in prison, home plan and parole plan development, and continue learning in aftercare therapy. Now you're going to the free world to an AA class or an NA class, or going to get your mental health evaluations and treatment. Now you're going to the free world. You're transitioning to re-enter back into society. All right. If you have a home plan, someone can place where you can go. You already got your job lined up. You got proof of resources. Then you parole out. You've done your 5 years. You're not going up in front of a parole board. There's no need to. You went and evaluated. The people inside of the prison in the classification departments, they have more education and hands-on experience with you than the parole board. The parole board just reading the jacket that they put together. So how can their decision be more meritable and have more weight than the person who actually made the report? It don't make sense. And so when you complete your curriculum, if you have a home plan and you have adequate resources, you parole out. But if you don't, then you go to a work release in an area where at that level 2 facility, you found the job market where your skill of trade, where you'll get sent to a work release in that area. And you'll start working. And you'll save up your 6-month security. And you'll save up enough to buy you a car. And you'll save up enough to get you a house. And you'll buy you some clothes. And then if you don't have family, you'll find you a roommate right there at the work release with you. And together, y'all will get an apartment. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll go to the street. But these parole boards are politically and economically structured to continue on with mass incarceration. Prosecutors, judges, police officers, these are the people sitting on the parole boards. They're all working together. And so parole will be reserved for people with, let's say you had a life without parole and you had a crime that involves special circumstances. Okay, that is who parole is for. All right, you've completed your curriculum, you served your time, but you had a very bad crime. So now you have a special parole review. But that's something that should be decided by a jury. Does this crime, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have special circumstances. And in special circumstances, you did something heinous to a child. You took advantage of elderly people. You committed some kind of heinous, vile act. Okay, we get that. Those people, special parole review. But everyone else, no. You just have a problem in society. That problem can be fixed. We have a place to fix it. We'll send you there. When that problem is fixed, you'll be back. That's the way we need to have correction structured in this country. Now, they have 85%. But they haven't established what scientific data shows that serving 85% of your time solves a problem. Where is that information? Where does 85% of my time served show that my problem has been solved with the way that prisons are structured today? No education programs, no rehabilitation programs. We're just laying around in prison, waiting on the next whatever to pop off. And so we're trying to be realistic about this. And we're offering solutions, and that's what these freedom bills are for. Let's see. Habitual Offender Act. It's got to be amended. It has got to be amended. There is no rational basis for it. I saw earlier today where a man in Louisiana just got life without parole for stealing some audio video equipment or something. I mean, can we continue? He just got this in 2016. Well, I'm going to conclude this for now. I'll be back again. I'll be constantly talking about this freedom bill, other sections in the freedom bill, rehabilitation objectives, family nights, conjugal visits, more involvement with the children. Everyone has to be involved. When a man is married, has 2 or 3 kids, mom and dad, brothers and sisters, when that person is incarcerated, that whole family is incarcerated. Everyone who has an interest in seeing this person get better is not being allowed to be a part of that person's life or the process in which this person is incarcerated. That is rehabilitation. But as we know, these systems are not about rehabilitating people. They're about making money. And so we're challenging that model with the nonviolent peaceful protests. You're seeing demonstrations all around the country, all around the world. And these demonstrations are going to continue. And this is what we're fighting for. These are the changes that we're asking for. So we want to answer those questions for people. What is this all about? This is about humanity. This is about change. This is about standing up to capitalism, corporate greed, human trafficking, brutality, all for one goal: profit. It's all about money. It's all about the money. It's not about crime. It's about the money. It's Free Alabama Movement. Benno Hannibal, Rasan. Peace to all the freedom fighters out there around the world. We appreciate the support. This is the presentation on the Freedom Bill. It is not the last one. We'll be talking about this many, many more days. Peace.